Hello, thank you for joining us. I'm Lisa Trail, the Director of Communications for Murfreesboro City Schools, and tonight I have as my guest Mr. Joe Thompson, the principal at Black Fox Elementary. So welcome, Joe.
Well, thank you for having me.
So we're going to talk about the changes that are going on at Black Fox, which hasn't really seen changes since it opened 27 years ago. So we did a groundbreaking this week. What are you looking at over there besides mud?
Besides mud, well, we're looking at construction, and we'll finish out the rest of the year. There'll be some inconveniences with noise and workers and people doing what they have to do, and the surprises, which I found one today that we're going to have to do that I'm having to work with. But those challenges are just what's expected. But yeah, we're excited. We're going to have 10 new classrooms, and what's in those classrooms right now, we're not sure. But we know that our zone is growing, and that on 41, there's a lot of new growth that's going to impact Black Fox in the southern part of the city. So we're planning on being in advance and ready for it when it hits, and we know it's going to.
So those 10 new classrooms represent about 15,000 new square footage for Black Fox. It's expanding your capacity from 800, that is currently 800, to 1,000. I know the growth at that end is the reason that we went with expansion. But let's talk about why it's so easy at this point to expand Black Fox, because it was actually built for 1,000.
Yes.
So if you want to just kind of talk about the core being where it is and what the classroom is going to represent.
Well, in 1990, I was assistant principal at Black Fox, so it was a 1,000-student school. And then the state since then has reduced the ratio of teacher students. So the same 1,000 students you could have had in 1990 turns into about a little over 800 now. So what's going to happen is that when we build the other 10 classrooms and get up to 1,000, which is what we were originally designed for, we've got the cafeteria, the gym, and all the other areas, the media center, are all built for that. So we don't have to do those areas, and those are very expensive areas to build. So the unit cost is, if you multiplied the amount of money that's being spent on 10 classrooms and said that to a school, you would come up with something about 60% of the cost. So the cost per unit is really good when you add on to a school that has a core. Now, if you were trying to add on to a school like maybe Hobgood was a couple of years ago, then you don't have the core, so you have to expand your core too, which costs more money. So economically and for the taxpayers of Murfreesboro City, it's a really good deal, because they're getting, for $2 million, they're getting probably $6 million somewhere in that area that would cost for the core. So yes, it's a good economical fiscal policy that I think that the school system's made a really wise decision on.
So as you walk through Black Fox, I'm always amazed at how new Black Fox still looks. It's clean, it's nice, everybody's very happy to be there. So adding these 10 classrooms is just going to expand your capability, but really it's not going to change any services. You're going to have, the area is growing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you're trying to do, is just gather the growth that's already there and be able to take care of that. So between Hobgood's expansion and Black Fox, that's really going to take care of about 400 to 500 new students from 2 years ago until hopefully 2 or 3 years in the future. So a lot of times when we talk about schools, people think about that 8:30 to 3:30 day, which is your school time.
Mm-hmm.
Your bell time's 8:30 to 3:30. However, there's always someone at Black Fox. As I drive by, there's a parking lot full on a Saturday. What's going on there?
Well, we are in cooperation with the Murfreesboro Recreation Department. So every year they do basketball and use our gym, so that creates a tremendous, just think of how many gyms we just got through talking about core. Mm-hmm. A gym's a core thing. And if you had to build gyms in Murfreesboro City to take care of, we're a very sports-oriented community, as you know. We've got the great football teams, and right now we've got great basketball teams, both girls and boys. When you start talking about those gyms, you're talking about millions and millions, tens of millions of dollars of taxpayer money that's being used for dual purposes. So actually we're getting great bang for our gyms, and they come in and they take care of the building, and they have a lot of kids that don't go to my school in there, and they have kids that are at my school, but we are a community, and that's what part of a community is. So it's actually saving a tremendous amount of money. Because I remember when I was in college, we used to go over to Critchlow Gym and just try to find any place we could to play basketball if MTSU wouldn't let you play on the courts over there. And I can just remember the condition of some of those gyms. You didn't know if the ball was going to come back up or not. And I needed all the help I could get without having the gym floors warped and everything else. So when you come to Murfreesboro City School gyms, the kids are actually getting a quality gym, and it's not costing the taxpayers a double bit of money. So it's good, and we're very happy to have them. And it works out well. Then, of course, you know that we have students every day, 6 to 6, 24/7, 365 days, basically a year, probably 360 days when you take off Christmas and a few of those. The building is being used all the time. And there's other things that go on according that are, we open our buildings up to Murfreesboro City, cooperative response, we go back and forth on that. But overall, we are city schools, and our primary purpose is the city. So it's a great community atmosphere in all of our schools. So it's an amazing a bit of money. I mean, when you look at some of these schools that we have, but on the other side, it's providing double services in many ways. We even feed community people in our cafeterias in the summer that can come and have free meals because they need to have free meals.
And that's through the USDA.
Yes.
18 and under come in, and it is a meal site.
It's
for
a
our
meal
children.
site, and we come in and make sure that we do everything we can in this community to make sure we're good partners with everybody in the community, and we hope we are, but we think we do a great job with that. And the Murfreesboro city government is very good to include us in other options too. And even MTSU, we have a great relationship with MTSU, and I have great relationships with Howard and Sally Wall and with Believers Chapel across the street and Olive Branch Church and other big brothers and big sisters, and I could just go on. We have volunteers that just come in because they want to mentor and work with kids. So the community aspect is really strong, and I appreciate this community. It's been very good to me. I'm not a native Murfreesboroian, and to be here and come from a very small rural community and come to Murfreesboro, and over the last few years, watch it grow and watch it develop into a wonderful small city, which is what it is now. And it's been remarkable to see that happen.
Yeah, Black Fox has the beauty of sitting right there in a neighborhood, so it really is a neighborhood school, which is really nice. You have a lot of bike riders and walkers and everything in the mornings. So and you said Howard and Sally Wall, and you can hardly mention Black Fox that Howard and Sally Wall don't come up. They have been community supporters for that school since it opened. So 27 years? 27
years. They have made sure that every child at Black Fox gets taken care of no matter what. I can't tell you what their friendship has meant to the school. They've pumped several $100,000, not just thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. We go to, if Howard sees a need at Black Fox, he just says, "What do you need?" And that's the end of it. So, when you talk about, I wish every school had a Howard and Sally Wall that could be their guardian angel and make sure that every child gets everything that they need. And I just can't tell you how impressed I am with their giving. And the fact is that they give their time, they give their prayers, they give their heart, they give everything, and they identify with Black Fox. So yes, Howard and Sally Wall are very, very special, and I'm just so I was assistant principal, like I said, when the first year when Howard and Sally got involved, and I'm there now, and they haven't changed a bit. They are still just as connected to Black Fox today as they were in 1990.
That's amazing. And so as we wrap up today, if you drive by Black Fox, what will you be seeing for the next 6 months as far as kind of describe where the wings are being added? And maybe for those who, there's several of us who have either had children go through Black Fox already or people who are viewing that have actually gone to Black Fox. So kind of describe where that addition is going to be.
A lot of people will see Kensington. If you drive by on South Rutherford, you'll see the part that is going out towards Kensington. That's going to be 6 classrooms. Right now it's kind of, you'll see a big fence there, and you'll see a bunch of piles of mud, and all that's going to get better, but that's what you'll see now. You'll see a fence, you'll see a bunch of mud, and you'll go, where are the kids playing? The kids are playing fine. Okay, we got basketball goals, we got beautiful campus, we got yards out front, and so the kids are doing fine, all right? But you're going to see a lot of mud, a lot of dirt, and you'll see some construction at the end of the building. You'll think, didn't there used to be like a porch thing sitting out there? Well, it's gone, but it will be back. And then in the new building, we're actually going to get storage down there, which I'm excited about because we always need storage. If you go to the other side where the kindergarten wing is, right next to Publix, if you get it, you'll have to get into Publix parking lot though and look down, and you'll see where they've torn out the parking lot there, and they're going to put 4 classrooms in there. And right now, you'll see a bunch of asphalt, concrete, and stuff piled up into bins, and you'll see some yellow tape running around where keep everybody off, and you'll see a fence that will be protecting the playground. So yes, we still have a playground for our kids over there too. So the only thing that's changed is we can't arrive and dismiss in the kindergarten, first grade area, so we're having to make some changes there. But so far, everything has worked out really well.
Well, I'm sure the students are excited to see the growth, but also just to see those big pieces of machinery coming in and out. I saw some kindergartners the other day really watching the big caterpillar that was out there. So I think that's really nice, and the students get to see the growth. So we appreciate that and their excitement. And I'm sure there is a science lesson or a math lesson or something to be found in all that. So thank you for being with us, and that's it for further review. So thank you for joining us.